The Second Amendment was based partially off the right to keep and bear arms from the English Bill of Rights created in 1689. Since its addition to the U.S. Constitution, it has been constantly used in court cases, debates, and everyday life. On December 15, 1791, the Bill of Rights was adopted and the Second Amendment became part of our Constitution. In the Constitution, the Second Amendment is stated as a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
The Second Amendment background information. The right for people to be able to defend by keeping and bearing arms. The reason we have Amendment 2 is so that anyone would be able to defend and protect themselves and others against danger and harm.
Sit down. Get back in the car.
Okay.
Get out of my house. That's right, never come back.
Welcome to another segment of the Second Amendment History Channel. So now that you know about the Second Amendment, or the right to bear arms, you probably think it's a smart amendment to put in the Constitution. However, there is some debate behind it. The right to bear arms is the Second Amendment in the Constitution, and the amendments in the Constitution are supposed to protect the rights of all U.S. citizens. But does the right to bear arms really protect the rights of all U.S. citizens?
No. The answer is no. The right to bear arms only protects the rights of some U.S. citizens. Here's why. For some people, the right to bear arms does protect their rights. For example, if an intruder, such as a robber, were to enter your house and you owned a gun, you could use the gun to scare them off and protect yourself, but protecting the right to your human life. Owning a gun could help you in self-defense as well as protecting your right to life. So the right to bear arms does protect some people's rights.
However, it doesn't protect the rights of everyone. When you give almost everyone in America the right to own a gun, things can get out of hand pretty quickly. Suddenly, our society is faced with events such as mass shootings, where innocent people are being shot to death.
Suddenly, America is a country where 12,000 people are unlawfully killed by guns each year. So these 12,000 people who are unlawfully killed by guns each year, is their human right to life being protected? Or the 91 Americans killed with guns daily, is their human right to life being protected? What about the 7 children and teens killed daily by guns? Is their human right to life being protected if they're innocently shot to death and don't even get to experience life as an adult? What about the victims of the Black Lives Matter movement, who have been shot to death due to their race? The answer is no. Innocent people who are being shot to death because their shooter has the right to bear arms and own a gun don't have the rights protected by the Second Amendment. These innocent people's human rights to life aren't being protected if they are shot to death by someone with the right to have a gun. Therefore, not all U.S. citizens' rights are protected by the Second Amendment. Maybe it's time we try and change it.
Here are some examples of current events that include the Second Amendment. The Black Lives Matter movement is one example of an event that includes the Second Amendment, because the police have the right to bear arms and shoot the victims of the Black Lives Matter movement.
Recent devastating shootings, such as the Newtown, Connecticut school shooting and the New Orlando, Florida club shooting, are examples of the Second Amendment. This is because the shooter in these shootings had the right to bear arms, meaning they had the right to own a gun, allowing them to be able to sadly shoot innocent people.
Our last example is a home invasion court case from 2015. David Torres, 35, was armed with a gun when robbing a house. When investigators came, they found a girl tied up who revealed the story to them. The robber had taken out his gun and pointed at the girl until she agreed to let the man tie her up and lock her in a closet. This man then went to rob the house. The court case also involves the Second Amendment because it gave the robber the right to bear arms and own a gun, which he used to scare the girl and rob the house.
This has been an episode of the Second Amendment History Channel.
Thanks for watching!